And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Already 6:30 as you're waking up. It's 35. Keep in mind today's going to be extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Breezy. We're going to have sustained winds of anywhere from 25 with gusts up to 55. So be prepared for this today of whatever you're doing. It's going to be gusty. Definitely not a day to burn anything. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. Sustained winds of 5 to 10 with gusts 25 to 55. Let me reword that. I didn't say that just correctly. But it's going to be windy nonetheless. A lot going on in today as we possibly, tomorrow morning now, we will have some severe storms. They've moved it from tonight after midnight till tomorrow morning beginning from 8 until 11. Then, as I use the word possibility, we could see some winter storms on the way. All this starts making its case on Sunday night. We'll get into the forecast and break all of this down here in just a moment. But we do have sleet in the forecast for Monday and Monday evening going into those overnight hours. Could get messy. We're going to have a lot of temperatures that are below freezing for the next week beginning on Sunday. And again, we'll have some folks coming in tomorrow to talk about being prepared, doing what you need to do now before this gets here. It's going to be for us serious as we see temperatures of at least 16. That's bad. Plumbers will be busy. We need to go ahead and make sure that you've got everything taken care of. McDonald Hill will help you out if you need some propane. They're going to be rolling trucks today. Get that done today before the rush is out of needing it and everybody at one time. Prepare. Go check your tanks today. Our generators had to run some 4.5 hours last night after that wreck. So I need to go make sure. I think mine is full, but I need to go check to make sure as to what could happen next week. You just never know. This is the way it all begins. Louisville, Mississippi joining us. How are you doing, Elizabeth Dalton? You're going to have basically the same weather as we're going to have in the Meridian area in the Winston County area around Louisville. It's going to be extremely cold. Now, when you get to Louisville, Winston, it usually is a little bit colder than it is in the Meridian area. We're going to do breakdowns of all of this as you get into this over the next couple of days watching it. When you get near Louisville and you get on up towards State, Columbus, it becomes colder and colder as we go northward. So it will be probably 5 to 6 degrees difference in between Winston and Meridian. It usually is there. It's always 2 degrees no matter what it is. And that line, as you get toward that Tupelo area, just really drops. So we'll see colder weather in your area there. Good morning from Bailey. Rhonda, how are you doing? We hope so. Bob, good morning there. Glad to see you there. So Mark Ingram up and joining us there from Conahatta. Charlie Gray's jumping in from the big city of Philadelphia. Randy joins us from Union. Union was quiet over the last few days. Been extremely quiet. That's good, though. We're not going to complain, are we? All right, let's shake all this off, get a good word from the good Lord up above, and then we're going to come back and tell you some headlines that are shaping America as we get all of this done, plus your weather forecast, all on the way here at the Scotty Ray Report.
For the past few months, I've tried to really eat better and healthier. Now, I can't lie to you, I cheated a little over the Christmas season, but I'm back on the grind. For me, I have to stay on that grind for the most part. I really can't slack a little here and there and then get back on it and get off. It just doesn't work for me. I've got to stay in my lane and within my parameters or I'll go overboard. See, my downfall is Hershey chocolate kisses. I don't believe I've ever eaten just one. I usually eat one, then two more, and before you know it, well, you get the picture. Sin works in a similar way. It never stops at just one bite. It always wants to take more and more of you. How I've heard it explained, and this has stuck with me for a long time, is that sin works in the opposite way of physical hunger. When we're hungry, we eat enough, we get full, and then we go on about our day. With sin, taking one bite leads to more, and to more, and to more, and to more. 1 Peter 5:8 tells us that our adversary, the devil, is like a roaring lion seeking whom he can devour. This is especially true for those who are not in Jesus. They have no hope. They have no understanding of the goodness of God. They have hard hearts. All things Paul uses to describe them in Ephesians 4:17 through 19. So, if you do not know Jesus, know that you can have hope. You can know God. Your heart of stone can be made to beat with love for Jesus if you will turn from your sin and trust in the death and resurrection of Jesus for the forgiveness of your sin. If you're already a follower of Jesus, leave the old ways behind. And as you'll see more from Ephesians 4 and Pastor Ben in tomorrow's devotion, put on the new man in Christ. Be blessed, and remember, change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And good morning. Hope you're doing well as we get into everything this morning as we're shaping up. Cold outside. Odie walked in a short sleeve shirt. He regretted that. And all of the temperatures are going to warm up today, so somewhere around 66. You start this early part off, all this gusty winds, and we've got a wind advisory, is going to make it colder than it is. Keep in mind if you do outside work, and I don't care what they say, that stuff makes you sick. You're out there for long periods of time, wind whipping, you'll end up getting sick. From Brandon, Mississippi, we welcome Kay. How in the world are you doing today? Certainly appreciate that. As we dive off into headlines this morning, Starbucks, they're being sued again. And I really don't understand why, because they're allegedly using coffee from farms without rights abuse while touting they're using ethical sources. So it's somebody suing them because they've said, hey, we use the best coffee and they treat people the best they can. And they may have found, is that grounds for a lawsuit? I mean, really?
That's stupid.
That's, and we wonder why coffee ends up costing $10 a cup. I do take problems with that. It's somebody looking for something. I guess you can do whatever you want in America, and that's what's wrong with our court systems is piled up with cases like that. They may not even known about whoever they're getting accused of. I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense there. Now, when I first read this story, I thought, boy, we're just getting really out of hand of this until I took a step back and I put myself in the place of someone else. And Odie, I didn't do that to begin with, and I almost felt bad. I really did feel bad for my thoughts at first, thinking, that's just nonsense, was the first thought went through my head, and then it hit me of just how many people in America, how fortunate I am, I think is the way to put this, that all my fingers, hands, and toes work, and everything on me works properly. Some days it drags a little bit. My leg don't work as good as it should. But they've invented something, and this is really revolutionizing for people with handicaps. They've invented I guess it's kind of like a plate that you would put in for your teeth that goes in your mouth. And if you're paralyzed, you'll be able to use your tongue to scroll the internet, click. You'll be able to write text with this device that they put underneath your tongue or in the roof of your mouth, and you'll be able to use the internet and communicate with others like you never have before. And I felt bad after it because that first thought was, that's just more of this technology nonsense. And then it sunk in. As you look around, not everybody is as fortunate as we are that you got all of these. Wow. There are some good things that come with technology, and this will be revolutionizing it for those folks that are having a tough time there. Like, do you remember the mom that went in the hospital not long ago and she woke up to no arms, legs? She got septic, and they had to save her life. This is one of those.
Be able to surf the web.
Yeah, that's major for folks with problems. So there we go. Food Network. I don't watch it, and my wife does, and it's kind of like watching a Buick rust to me. I can't lie. Watching somebody cook. Okay, maybe the dude that used to drink and cook was funny as a kid. Oh, put a little bit more wine in it. But these guys, I don't know, it isn't my forte, but whoever the star Darnell Ferguson is, you know him?
No.
Yep, he's been arrested related to domestic violence. It's no laughing matter for what he done. It's accused, you got to remember that, but he has been arrested. Where there's smoke, there's fire sometimes. We'll find out in a few days what's going on with that. Hard to find people to look up to, isn't it? It is. What else do we have here? Ohio, the governor, as we see this in so many cases of, and what do you say about this, what is happening with the transgender movement in children? As an adult, if you want to do that, I guess that's your own business. But as children being persuaded by others to do this, I have problems with this. But the Ohio House, and that will go to the Ohio Senate after this, has overridden a bill from the governor to where he was going to let everything just roll on with this, playing the sports. The House has voted against that. Doesn't mean it will make it through the Ohio Senate, I don't know much as I should about the Ohio politics is out there, but the House part has taken a stand of it, as Mississippi did. Well, watch it. Philadelphia. Now, this is just common sense across America. If you have a sick child, wakes up with a fever, you don't send them to school because you don't want the rest of everybody else, the kids in their class, getting sick or daycare. If you're sick, be considerate of those that you work with. They got to make a living just like you do. Philadelphia, PA is where we go. Child had measles. Mother sent him on to child care anyway. Other children now are infected because of that. It's common sense. If you're sick, you should stay home. Now, as kids, we got the shots for the measles, did we not?
We did. That hurt.
Yeah, that's that. Is that that?
That's that round thing.
Oh, yeah, that mark that I'll never get rid of. Best I remember, that was at the Lauderdale County Health Department down there where next to the church where they're going to have the Kentucky ham meal. Yeah, there's a parking lot now, but that's where it used to be. Man, I remember being drug in there about having to go to school. Ooh. Anybody remember that? Montana. Somebody else has been arrested. Boy, this has been going, how long ago? Was it 4 years ago now? January the 6th? They've arrested somebody else that they've tracked down by video.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. On and on it goes. San Antonio is where we go next. The teenage girl who was pregnant with the boyfriend who came up missing that was found deceased, they arrested 2 people for that. They've arrested a third. Now, police characterized it as a possible drug deal gone bad. The family that were saying, no, that couldn't have happened. Well, as we see this, another one of them's mother that was involved in this is being arrested. Her charge is tampering with evidence afterwards, concealing human corpse. It's being heavily involved. We've got a case similar to that coming up in our little town. Oh, who's ready to fill out their income tax and give the government some more money? Well, they've officially released a statement of the first day that they'll take your money is going to be January the 29th is when you can come give them a little bit more. So have y'all really thought about this? The land of the free. I sometimes wonder how free we are. When you get your, you really don't. When you get your paycheck, you have taxes taken out of it. And you think, well, I need some groceries. I need something to eat this week. You go there, you get taxed again. You go buy gas to get there, you're taxed at the gas pump. You go home to sit in your house, which you're taxed on. If you own a business, they even tax every item that's inside your business, including the pencil that's in your hand. Do y'all know that? There's a lot of people that probably don't realize that. There is a tax on businesses. They come around, what is it, once a year? Once a year. And they do a survey of your office in the city limits there. And they count how many chairs you got, and you pay taxes on that after you've paid taxes for buying all of that.
And every item you have for sale is taxed.
Yeah, every item you've got for sale is taxed. What have we gotten into? Oh, I remember. There's a lot of people that live off the government, don't want to work, and we got to pay for that. But it does get to a point to where a lot of people are going to say it just isn't worth it anymore. Why should I start a business and do all of this and have to pay all of this? And that's when the economy starts seeking, when those that they just give up. Let's hope it never leads to that, the end of our society. Let's hope that. But we've got to do something to cut back on waste. Oh, leadership. That's what we need. That's my 2 small thoughts. And again, you may not agree with anything that I just said, and that's okay. You're more than welcome to think how you like. I look at this, and I never I totally disagree when they do surveys of this group of Americans, because we're all Americans. They've done a survey here, and the only reason I bring it up is because it brings up religion. And I've said this before. Last year, they did the survey to where, for the first time in America's history, it fell below 50%. They're showing that, and again, I don't like using this terminology, but since it deals with religion, I will. Asian Americans declining in their belief in God. It's down to 26%.
Most of them Buddha anyway, wasn't
I'm not sure what, but boy, it's falling and falling. And it's in all aspects. It's being taught not to believe in America, which was founded on religious beliefs. If you'll go back, read the Constitution, everybody that was involved in that came here because they felt religion was such a strong, and boy, we were blessed, weren't we?
Ooh.
How long can we continue to be blessed is what runs through my mind in the back of it. Well, again, as each of you know, I don't watch NFL anymore because of their beliefs and my beliefs. You have to draw a line somewhere in life, and I drew mine. But I see that the Seahawks coach, Pete Carroll, he's out after 14 years. Got to win a few for him to really want to keep you.
Yeah.
We'll get into the Nick Saban thing this morning coming up with Odie. Oh, that's right around the corner. Let's see what else here. Oh, this is going to be a shocker for anybody out there. Chris Christie, Bridgegate. He's finally out. He's having to pull out because, well, nobody's giving him money. He stayed in there long enough to where he thought he could sell another book or two and sell another T-shirt or whatever it is to keep going. That's my thoughts on that. But he's official. He was really out from the beginning. Haley is out, and also is DeSantis. They're all out. Only one name is going to come to the top of that Republican ticket, and we all know that. That's the way it's shaping up there. Let's see what else we had here. Parents, always pay attention. Do a little research. I know America, and especially our area in the Deep South, is very giving when it comes to people who say that they're sick and their children, especially when you bring up the word child being sick. Americans, and especially Southerners, will go above and beyond to help a child that is sick. We have an Ohio mom who just flat out lied to America. She took her 7-year-old daughter, shaved her head, made it look as though she had cancer to raise money. It was all a scam. She's been busted, and we'll see what becomes of this. That is something that you don't need to, that you should never do. The mother's name was Pamela Reed. She's 41. Well, theft by deception is what they're calling this. How horrible can you do something like this to fool America? But always, when you see this, now there's a lot of good cause, and we try our very best to vent everything and anything before we put something out that someone needs help. We're always on the top of it when somebody loses their home. We know that they need that. When it comes to sickness and things of this nature, always double check, do a little digging before you donate. That's awful that someone would fool America like that. Up next, we're going to get into your forecast, and we've got so much coming up at 7 o'clock. We'll be right back as we start this day together.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back as we get the day started again. 35 right now, so before you rush out that front door, make sure you've got some kind of coat on. Why? Because there's wind mixed in with that, and we'll do the entire forecast. Let's dig deeper now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows, here we are. Back in 1949, today's high reached 82. What a warm day that was. We'll get to 67 today. Our record low was, 3 degrees back in 1962. We won't get there Monday night, but it will be closer than we are today. Cold weather en route. And look at this. The high today about 66 to 67 as we go northward through Philadelphia. We'll get to 65 as you make your way up toward Louisville. That temperature starts dropping to about 63. Even back west, we'll get warm over in Natchez and Vicksburg, 70. What does that mean this time of year? Storms are coming. The whirlwind tonight. Rain is on the way with severe weather in the morning. We see Bama sitting at 62. Birmingham breaking that 50-degree mark at 59. Montgomery should see 62 today. Now, here's the outlook for tomorrow. tomorrow morning. This stuff will start coming in a little after 2 a.m. tonight. Thunderstorm activity. By 4 a.m., it's over here at the Mississippi line and in between Jackson and Vicksburg from 7 until 11. Our timeline to worry is 8 until noon. Now, we are at a level 2 is what we look at. Now, let me show y'all what we're looking at here. This is good a time as any, and we'll do this again on the morning show, but let me pull this up to, we always want to be forthcoming about bad weather and never tell you something that isn't exactly on the up and up of what we got. Let's turn this on and show you the severe weather, what is lined up for tomorrow. Move that and move this to Outlook, which will be tomorrow. This is what we've got. Most of the state of Mississippi is a level 2. Any point in this from Vicksburg right here to the state line out here past Tumsuba, as we get right there, York, Alabama, in these areas. As we move east, now we can get a tornado here. We're more likely for tornadic activity start here around Selma, anywhere around here near Fitma, Alabama, all the way to Columbus, Georgia. This area is most likely to see the tornadic activity. It's a level 3. Doesn't mean that we can't have it here, but I'm seeing that the worst of this will be just a tad east of us, starting Selma, Montgomery, Alabama, and those areas. Again, we'll go back over this again this morning. We're going to have some very severe weather in the morning, strong thunderstorms. Our biggest threat to this area will be wind. Thunderstorm damage from that wind whipping by, breaking power lines, doing damages of that. And you can never, ever rule out straight line winds. And again, I can't take out the possibility of tornadic activity, but I do see that the worst of it will be just east of us. We'll watch this closely as we roll into those hours tomorrow with this weather coming in. Do not let your guard down. And before the comments start coming, nothing has been said from any school about letting out early or being delayed tomorrow at this point. I'm sure that some will be looking at it. Should any of that happen, we'll let you know. But right now, it's a no on that. As we look at the Alabama side, here's what we got. As we said, Selma, these areas here being the worst. Level 2 through Demopolis through Birmingham there. As you'll see there, even Alabama claiming tornadoes possible in this yellow area. And when you reach here, it's point blank. Tornadic activity anywhere in there. Auburn, Montgomery, y'all be ready into Georgia. That will happen. Now, as we look at this is the strong winds that we will have tomorrow. As you'll see here, 40 to 50 mile an hour gust. Sustained winds on Friday of 30 miles an hour. That is strong with the storm. Now, this is what we have to start worrying about next week. Is this cold temperatures that are going to be rolling in, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be extremely cold. We got sleet in the forecast on Monday night, into Tuesday. It was in there a little bit on Sunday. At this point, it's out. It could be put back in. But we are getting it there at the beginning of the week, 20 to 30% chance, depending upon where you look, how you study it. It's unknown for sure if it will happen or not. But it is in the forecast now. What we do know, without a shadow of a doubt, is going to drop to about 16 to 14 a couple of nights there. That means pipes will freeze. It means the elderly needs to be kept on. We're going to pretty much do our entire show tomorrow about all of that, and how you need to do and prepare. You got the weekend to get prepared for it. This is what the outlook is here for the rest of the weekend. Look at that. Cold. As we glance across here, 66, thunderstorm, 67 tomorrow, 80% chance of rain as we move into Saturday, 51, down below freezing we go, 29, Sunday night, 31. Look at the difference. Monday night, as this arrives, 11 degrees. Things will freeze that you hadn't seen in years. As we go into Tuesday, we have 35 and 18. You'll see that 20%. That 20% could go up or down. It only takes a little bit to cause a mess. 20% chance mixed with 11 degrees is not good. As we get into Wednesday, the high jumps back up to 45, 10 degrees warmer. But look at this. Every single night, 30, 18, 18, 26. And it will be a week from Monday before it gets back warm again. 26 overnight. 36 right there is where it finally comes back above it. That's because rain's coming. As we look at the fishing forecast today, looks like the best time to be will be 12:30. Is the best time to hit it. Be there for it. As we watch the south-southwest wind, 5 to 10, gusts of 20 miles an hour as we look at this. And again, a wind advisory in effect already. Chet's paint and body. What do we do on the deer hunting side? Now, I forgot to put the 11 there. It's going to be okay. 11:30 today is going to be your first major time to be out in the woods hunting. to about 1:30. Pretty good hunting time there. Second major time is weak. Why? Because of the wind. Brought to you by Collinsville. Good folks out there. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to get coffee ready and come back in just a moment to carry out your morning. Join us, won't you? Scotty Ray and Odie on the way at 7 here at the Scotty Ray Report. Y'all don't rush off. We'll be back in just a moment. Take care of this day for you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.